So obviously, I want to point out the major arcanas, which of course we have the moon, the Hierophant, and the devil. And there's something about, like I said, with the number two, there is a decision that some of you are making or will be making by the end of June. And I feel that, it's very interesting because we're talking about here when I look at the Hierophant and with the devil, we're talking about the dark and the light. And I feel like some of you, and if this is not you that are feeling these effects, I feel like it's somebody close to you, somebody of great importance, or a partner, a loved one, but I'm getting extremes. I'm getting like highs are really high, but so when things are good, they're really good. But when things are bad, they're pretty bad. And so I want to say that I feel like Taurus may have some significance. Capricorn, also what's standing out, of course, is Cancer and Pisces. Now we've got the Knight of Wands and two pages. So there may be something regarding children. It may also, I'm getting something about maybe the glue or children may really be kind of the center of a relationship or the center of a marriage, or there even may be custodial issues centered around children is what I'm also picking up. I also feel like somebody may find out that they're pregnant but I feel like somebody's not wanting to take responsibility for it. Like, I don't know, or there's some anxiety or fear of either getting pregnant or not being able to get pregnant. Now, this could also be a metaphor for the birth of something new. And I think that some of you love, with this Page of Cups, it can definitely be representative of a message of love, of somebody new coming into your life, of you possibly getting in touch with an emotional aspect that maybe you haven't been dealing with, but that, would be beneficial if you did. But I'm seeing it more as somebody new possibly is coming in, or they have come in, and they're affecting this cycle. See, I feel like some of you are dealing with something cyclical, especially with the moon here, the lunar phases, the cycles that happen in life. And I feel like, okay, I'm getting something with triplicates. I am not sure what this means, but I'm really focused on, we have two tens here. And look, in the Devil's card, we have three people. We have three figures here. In crawfish, crayfish, or some people say it's a lobster, the coyote, the dog. Some people call it, one of the figures is a wolf. But there's three figures here. We obviously have three figures here. And I feel that somebody is possibly going back and forth, or they're trying to, like, you're trying to find a balance between extremes. Sometimes in life, there are people that have very addictive personalities. And this may not be you. This may be your partner, or again, somebody close to you that is very addictive, or you can't let go of, or they're the ones that have issues of letting go of you. But this addictive personality, like, you can get addicted easily to things, whether it's food, whether it's, eating, whether it's smoking, whether it's drinking, drugs, It doesn't even have to be recreational drugs. It can be pharmaceutical drugs. But I feel like with this, it's all or nothing. Like there's not an in between. There's not that happy medium. And so I feel like somebody either keeps like in terms of a relationship or love or a marriage, it goes well. And then it's like, just like this, like a roller coaster. I usually show this as a roller coaster. Um, so I feel that there's extremes and it's all or nothing thinking. And I think what's going to be important is that you learn, or this other person in your life learns to find the balance in between. Because this all or nothing thinking is, I feel like getting somebody very much stuck, or I'm getting something about medication. I feel like somebody has seen somebody in a higher, like in a position like this. It may even be somebody spiritual or even holistic medicine, but I do get traditional medicine is what I'm hearing, because the Hierophant often does speak to traditions. So I'm getting something like somebody's supposed to be taking something, and I feel like out of fear or anxiety, they're not taking it because maybe you don't believe in drugs, or, prescription drugs is what I'm talking about, issued by a medical doctor. There's fear in that. But I feel with these two tens, one thing somebody out there is really thinking about a divorce, or is going through divorce, or should we separate? And I feel like, if you have a history, breaking up, getting back together, breaking up, getting back together, I really encourage you to seek a third person, like a professional, whether it's, a spiritual guidance, counselor, or, to consider something like that, or a therapist, or, somebody, a professional, if you want to stay together, because there's a lot of volatility. It's just, and I feel like it's a toxic situation. I mean, look at this triangle here of this, and I feel like somebody is deflecting. Like I'm getting a little bit of self-centered, or maybe a bit narcissistic, where it's more like, there's fear in feeling emotions, or anxiety in when dealing with emotions or intimacy. So somebody may be very good at expressing themselves on a physical, more sexual level, but when it comes to commitment or, traditions, it's more difficult for them. And I feel like maybe they get scared and they run off, or you get scared and you run off. But these two tens, I feel like something is ending, or a phase of a relationship is ending. Maybe there's something about, children leaving the nest. But I do feel that with three people here in the court cards represented, I do feel besides the number 2, the 3 is of significance. And you're deciding, am I committed or am I not committed? Is this healthy? There's something about, I feel like somebody is questioning somebody's morals or their moralistic behavior. And there's I feel like a side. And I feel like this side may be learned or go back to childhood. That something maybe was not learned, especially with the 10 of Pentacles. I see this as 3 generations. So, in other words, I feel like there's a lot of energy and positive things coming in. And then, oh my gosh, it's almost becoming overwhelming. You're really hanging on to maybe some past issues or some past things that you have to let go of. And then things get a little bit better. And then, with the moon, I feel like it can go either way. It's, how much are you willing to look at what's going on here? Are you allowing, I think what's important is that with the moon and this Ace of Swords, that has to do with your thoughts. Your thoughts and the way you see things and the way you communicate or the way someone communicates with you may be causing anxiety within you, or that you are not seeing things clearly. And I'm being led to say to grab your power back, to start really looking at things from more of a rationalized or logical or cognitive perspective than something that is fear-based. Because somebody may be trying to control or, scare you on some level with these cards. They may be trying to shut you down or take your power away. And I think some of you are going to say, you know what? I've had enough. I'm not allowing this to happen. And you are going to claim your power. You will be making a decision. And for some of you, I feel like you are going to go from down here to up here. And so a decision or something will be made by the end of June 30th. But something is very much weeble wobbling. It's on the verge of going either way. And, like I said, if you can get a third person involved that maybe can help bring the peace around or find balance. Now, if things are so volatile and the other person's just not willing to, get help or work with you, like whether this is couples counseling or marriage counseling or something like that, then you can only control what you do. You can't obviously control other people, unless we allow other people to control us and we feel like, we're attached to them and we can't reclaim our power and break free from them. I believe you can, but you have to believe that. So there's endings and there's beginnings. Just make sure if this is something that keeps happening, that if you choose to stay together, that you get to the core of the issue. And I think it's going back to childhood. I'm also getting something about addictions, that somebody possibly might be predisposed genetically, or it's like, drinking or something like that, where somebody is, instead of dealing with their emotions and even on a very spiritual level, getting in touch or, emotionally getting that balance, you or this other person is dealing it through drugs or sex or addictions of some kind. And I think it's time to reclaim your power.